Hey YouTube, Jeff with JMX Scope Mounts here, doing a follow-up video on the Rock Island Armory 9mm tack pistol kit that I bought a few years ago. Finally getting around to doing a follow-up on it on the completed gun. Where to start here? Well, I guess let's start out with the slide. I did a lot of work on the slide. Might be a little difficult to see with the lighting, and this is pretty much a cheap camera, but I cut some flat surfaces with the milling machine down the sides of the slide, and so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flat surfaces. I guess you would call that hexagon, kind of a hexagonal shape, and turned out pretty good. Machined some sight grooves on the top of the slide. I'd seen some other pistols that had these, thought that looked pretty nice. Went ahead and done that. Stripped all of the finish off of the slide. It had black parkerized finish on it, and so I went ahead and stripped all that off and blued it 3 or 4 times with Mark Lee Express Blue #1. And that kind of bluing compound, what it is I call it boiling blue. You take the part, you boil it in water, and then you take it out of the water quickly and kind of paint the Mark Lee Express Blue #1 compound on the part. Let it dry for a few moments, then put it back in the water and let it boil. You do this several times. Every time that you do that, you card the part with a real superfine carding wheel. It's like a real fine wire wheel, if you will. Probably the equivalent to like 000 or 000 steel wool. Real fine stuff. And that gives you a nice shine. So that's the process that I used on the slide. It turned out quite well. Some other things about it. Let's see. Have a 416, I believe it is, stainless steel frame. Come with a satin finish on it, as you can see right here. I went ahead and polished the sides to give it a little shine, give it a little bit of a fancier look to it. Put G10 grips with kind of little fancy screws, got them off of eBay. Put a beveled magwell on it that had a checkered back strap. On the back strap safety, did a lot of work on it, a lot of shaping and smoothing and getting it to fit a little closer with the frame. Tried to get all the edges to match real closely. Same in here as well. Polished and shaped a little bit on the safety. Okay. Forgot to show you that the pistol is clear. You know, better late than never. Not going to shoot nobody. But finished on the safety lever so that you know, there's less chance of catching on clothing, and just a little easier on my thumb. No sharp edges. It turned out real well. Let's see, what else did I do to it? Did a fair amount. I don't know if I can show you this without taking a whole pistol apart, but if you can see down in there, this is the 9mm barrel that has the feed ramp in it. And I believe they call this a Clark Para type barrel, or maybe it's just a Para style. And it has a round radius on the recoil lug. So I had to machine out the frame, and I had to cut the frame down a little bit in order for that feed ramp to fit down in the frame. I did that on the milling machine. Could you do that with a Dremel? It's very possible, but it's a whole lot easier to do that with a milling machine than it is with a Dremel. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this gun? It shoots awesome. It's the best shooting 9mm that I have. I have SIGs, I have CZs, Taurus. You know, I got a few 9mm, and this outshoots them all. And I attribute that partly to the style of the gun and the action and the trigger. All my other pistols, 9mm, have triggers that arc, and they break a little bit. You know, they don't have quite as easy a break as this pistol does. I mean, once I take up the slack here, I mean, I'm not moving much, and but all the other 9mm have triggers that arc, and I just shoot better with this platform because the trigger goes straight back. So there's less chance of pulling, shooting low and left. It just, by its nature, is more accurate for me. That's my opinion. Some of you might disagree, but I like it. All in all, it was a fun project. I think it turned out pretty nice. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I'll get back with you. Thanks for watching.